Why do entrepreneurs relocate to Cyprus to obtain the non-domicile status? How to legally pay less than 5% taxation on your 1 million income from your dividends or interest or other bonds? This and many other important questions will be discussed today. Cyprus offers you a possibility to minimize your taxation legally within the European Union and globally if you change your tax residency to Cyprus. And the most important part that it's not some shady grey scheme. We're talking about the legal low taxation system that Cyprus offers in addition to the non-domicile status to foreigners. Non-domicile status has been used for many years by foreign entrepreneurs, business owners, foreign investors and other group of people who were interested to minimize their expenses. But the problem is that not everyone understands how the non-domicile status works in Cyprus. Some even confuse it with their immigration status. Some people do believe that it's enough to just visit Cyprus for a couple of months and you are sorted. And some even think that after obtaining the non-domicile status, they can forget about taxes forever. Now let's dig deeper to find out where the truth lies. Today we'll briefly analyze what is a non-domicile status, who can obtain it, what benefits does it give you, and for how long can you get it. Non-domicile status is a special taxation regime who applies to individuals who have become tax resident of Cyprus but have no Cypriot origin. To put it simple, you become a Cyprus tax resident by relocating here, get your taxation status and prove that your parents have not been domiciled in Cyprus and therefore are tax exempt from some special defense tax. Non-domicile is considered to be one of the most advantageous taxation regime in Europe. The main advantage is mentioned is the exemption from the special defense tax contribution, in short SDC. This is a special defense contribution which applies to specific types of income, such as dividends received from Cyprus or foreign companies, interest earned from bank deposits, bonds or other sources, and rental income. So you get the following: 0% taxation on dividends, 0% taxation on your interest received from bonds, securities, or other types of investments. The possibility of having 0% capital gain tax on the trade of securities. Cyprus has no inheritance tax, and in comparison with other jurisdictions, Cyprus has no wealth tax. This is why Cyprus has become potentially so interesting to foreign business owners, entrepreneurs, investors, traders, etc. Let's give an example in numbers. Imagine a situation. An owner of an international company in different jurisdiction, let's say United Kingdom or France, receives around €500,000 in dividends per year. In many European countries, the tax burden on dividends is around 20 to 30%, depending on the area and country. In Cyprus, under the correct use of the taxation system and all its benefits, we can have the following: special defense contribution on dividends, 0%. If you got your non-domicile status. Income tax on dividends, non-existent. Only the contribution of GESY, which is a local healthcare system, is 2.65% with a maximum cap of €4,770 per year per person. In fact, according to these calculations, the effective taxation burden can be less than 1%, depending the amount of dividends or other income you're receiving. This is why non-domicile status in Cyprus is considered to be one of the most attractive taxation tools available in the European Union. Non-domicile status does not automatically cancel all your tax obligations. For example, your normal salary will still be subjected to normal taxation rules of Cyprus. Tax consequences may arise from other countries and jurisdictions, considering which assets or income you are having. Your previous tax residency also matters. Since the countries are now actively exchanging financial information, hiding something from the tax authorities is not an option. Therefore, you must be fully prepared and all the structures must be legal and correct. Tax authorities look into where exactly the person lives, where his family is located, where his business management takes place, if he has a local bank account opened and if he uses it. In brief, they want to see where is the center of all the vital activities lies. This regime, non-domicile, is mostly attractive for those who receive passive income or trade in bonds, securities, and other options. Among the most popular categories of our clients who relocate to Cyprus for the non-domicile system and the local tax regime are owners of foreign companies, shareholders of international holdings, stock market investors, dividends recipients, private investors, and other. So let's discuss how to obtain the wanted non-domicile status in Cyprus. In order to obtain a non-domicile status, you must first fulfill the criteria to become a Cyprus tax resident. So these two applications are interconnected because you cannot simply apply for a non-domicile system without satisfying the criteria of becoming a tax resident. On our channel, you can find a separate video which goes into more depth of how to obtain Cyprus tax residency, but let's discuss this in brief here as well. We've got the two main rules. We have the usual 183 days in Cyprus, or we have the exception which follows the 60-day rule in Cyprus, which have other nuances. Depending on which path you're going to follow, there are different criteria and documents which you must provide. The procedure for obtaining a non-domicile status in Cyprus takes from 1 to 4 months, depending on your circumstances and the region which you will be residing in Cyprus. So, in short, if you're going to be applying for a non-domicile status, you must fully prepare to become a Cypriot tax resident in advance. If you have already gotten your tax number and you have already submitted your tax declaration prior to that, it's going to be a lot more straightforward. But the key point here is always the same. The phrase 0% tax does not always work, but a completely working, correctly built structure does. This is why before relocating, opening a company, getting your dividends, you must prepare. It is important to analyze in advance your current situation, which involves your income structure, any double taxation risks, or rules and regulations of the country that you were a tax resident prior to relocating to Cyprus, your current tax situation. And only after that you will be able to build a properly operating tax system for yourself when relocating to Cyprus. If you have any questions or there are some points that raise concerns to you, you can reach out to us for a free consultation and our specialist will be happy to assist.